This video is going to be all about a full week of eating and cooking in my life. I like to eat very intuitively, and I'm just sharing a lot of recipes that I try to the best of my ability because I kind of just wing things along the way. But let's get into a full week in my life of eating. So starting with breakfast, I do this a few days a week, but I made a smoothie bowl, and I'll try to put some of the ingredients that I'm using up on the screen. This is just a banana blueberry smoothie bowl, and I like different toppings on it. For lunch, I always just kind of look for whatever's in the fridge and make do. I have this leftover tomato soup I made a few days ago, and I made myself a grilled cheese but added some chicken breast to it, some spices, and just kept it really simple. Popcorners, white cheddar flavor, are probably the best flavor ever, and this has had some of those. For dinner, I decided to make some gnocchi with turkey meat sauce. Cooked some ground turkey, added a bunch of seasonings. I'm a big seasonings person. You guys will notice in the video, I just use a lot and I don't really measure them out. I just kind of wing it. I ended up getting a few portions out of this. Some of the cooking in this video is going to be for me and my boyfriend, so you'll see 2 different plates of food. This was really delicious, and then I had some leftover ice cream from the night before for dessert. And on to Tuesday, I'm just kind of winging it as I go, but I made 2 eggs and I scrambled them with some cheese. And then I had some waffles that I made the other day that I froze, so I just had 2 pieces of that. This is the mix I used to make them, and this tasted really good. For lunch, we're going for leftovers. I just love leftovers. They're so easy and quick. I'm just having the leftover gnocchi with turkey meat sauce. And I had a little afternoon snack. I love having a little something sweet after lunch. I made these little peanut butter cups and had a cookie. For dinner, we're making homemade burritos. This is one of my favorite things to make, whether it's a burrito or a burrito bowl. So I'm just making my own makeshift Spanish rice. I have all the ingredients on the screen there if you want to screenshot that. So after I started up the rice, I made a quick refried beans. This is really simple. It takes less than 10 minutes to make, and I like using black beans for it. I just use a lot of spices, a little olive oil, chicken broth, and just let the beans cook in that. You mash it up, and it tastes really good. We also sauteed some fresh peppers and onions. I love adding this to a burrito bowl or a burrito. It just adds a lot of flavor. Get a little veggie in. I took some of the leftover ground turkey, put some Trader Joe's taco seasoning mix on it, a little chicken broth, and heated that up. And once I had everything prepped, I put some stuff in containers so that I would have some leftovers for future use. And now we're gonna start rolling the burritos. This is the best part. Loading it up with everything I have here and trying not to pack it too much because I want to be able to close it without it breaking. But I got a little bit of everything in there, rolled it up, heated up my pan, and just let those brown. Served it with a little bit of light sour cream, and this tasted delicious. For dessert, we got this chocolate cake at ShopRite, and I had half a slice of it, which was amazing. On to Wednesday's breakfast, doing another smoothie bowl. This is one of my other classic smoothie bowls I go to, which is a strawberry banana bowl. I like to mix the Orgain vanilla protein powder with frozen fruit and almond milk and peanut butter. And I'm just topping it with some fresh strawberries, granola, cacao nibs, coconut, and peanut butter. For Wednesday's lunch, I just heated up a bunch of leftovers from last night's burritos, and I had a little handmade Rice Krispie treat as a snack. For dinner, I decided to switch it up and do something I've never done before, which is make handmade pasta. This was actually not that hard, and I found it pretty fun to do. I do have a pasta maker machine. It's my sister's, so I was able to use that, which made it pretty easy. But it was just flour and egg, and I think there is a pasta recipe where you can just use no egg, but we did egg pasta, rolled it into a dough. And I decided to do a fettuccine shape. This was just an easy setting that the pasta maker already had on it, and that is just so satisfying. And I attempted to make some basil, which I like to make in my NutriBullet, although I realized after I made it that the basil I used was a little not fresh tasting, and I kind of burnt the pine nuts. So I kind of had a little bit of an off taste, but usually this is how I just make a quick pesto. Some basil, Parmesan, salt, pepper, garlic powder, pasta water. We decided to make some shrimp with some lemon juice. And I ended up not eating this basil pasta, so I ate some of the shrimp, and then I decided to make a different sauce. So here's just me trying to make this makeshift cacio e pepe using pasta water and melted butter. I used Parmesan cheese, although I think pecorino is supposed to work better for the consistency, and just some salt and pepper. I threw in some of my pasta, and this tasted really good. The consistency was a little off, but it still tasted delicious. For dessert, I had some of that leftover chocolate cake from last night, which was amazing. And on to Thursday's breakfast. I'm just doing some cheesy eggs and avocado toast. Really simple, but just a delicious breakfast. For lunch, I decided to make a smoothie. I'm just doing banana with blueberry, almond milk, protein powder, and I like to throw some granola in it as well. It gives it a nice flavor. Spirulina, peanut butter, and I just blend it all up. And this tastes delicious. It's very decadent, and it's a great lunch if you're looking for something sweet and refreshing. For dinner, I decided to do some breaded chicken breasts. We have some chicken breast here that I'm going to season with some breadcrumbs. First, I'm going to dip it in the egg wash. We made some boxed mac and cheese with a whole bag of frozen broccoli from Trader Joe's. I love adding broccoli to boxed mac and cheese. It just makes it feel a little more hearty and filling, and it's a great way to get a vegetable in. On to Friday's breakfast. I made a family classic of ours, which is homemade crepes. I have the recipe down in the corner there, and this is just something I crave every once in a while and like to put in the time to make. Sometimes I like to add some fresh fruit, so I just got some fresh strawberries here that I'm chopping up. And I love using pure maple syrup. It just tastes really, really good. Lunch is just another collection of leftovers, of course. Some of that mac and cheese with the broccoli and a piece of chicken. I threw some tomato soup on the chicken. I just get extremely random with this and tasted pretty good. For dinner, we went out to Jose Tejas, which is one of my favorite restaurants here. I got enchiladas. On to Saturday's breakfast. I'm making a strawberry banana smoothie with some protein powder and peanut butter, and this is really simple to make and it tastes so good. We went pumpkin picking and apple picking after, so I got some fresh apple cider donuts and they were amazing. Probably some of the best I've ever had. I have a vlog showing us going there if you want to check it out. For lunch, I had some leftovers from last night's dinner. For Saturday's dinner, we just heated up some of that leftover breaded chicken. I threw some tomato soup on it and some Parmesan cheese and had some of the mac and cheese with broccoli. Did a little baking Saturday night. I decided to make these organically Addison oatmeal cookies. It was basically ground oat flour and we used coconut sugar. We just wanted to switch it up and try something completely different. And these tasted really good. So if you guys want to make these, I'll have the recipe linked in the description below as well as on the screen. I just had one of these cookies for dessert and they were really good. And on to Sunday, the last day of this what I eat in a week. I just made some simple cheesy eggs for breakfast. This is how I love to make the eggs. I feel like it makes them very creamy and not dry at all. So I like to cook them really slow to get them like this. For lunch, I just made a grilled cheese, classic comfort food here. But I also had some of that leftover tomato soup again because I'm just trying to use it up. And these white cheddar corn puffs. These are also really delicious from Trader Joe's. I had a piece of a donut from the farm yesterday as my afternoon dessert. And for dinner, my mom decided to bake some chicken in a cream sauce with mushrooms and peppers. This tasted really good. She paired it with the Trader Joe's mushroom risotto, so this is what I had for dinner. And I had one of those cookies for dessert from last night, as well as one of these maple leaf cookies. And that is everything. Thanks so much for watching.